How would knowing the Earth is flat help anyone in life?
Helps you navigate, helps you expand the territories into the new worlds. If it wasn't for us being able to measure the Earth flat with elevation angles, we wouldn't have developed the latitude and longitude system. We'd have never have found the new worlds out towards the horizon and found our way home with those flat Earth elevation angles. The expansion of the new worlds and the colonization of the new worlds only happened because we measure the stars with flat Earth angles. The globe you believe you're on wouldn't exist if it wasn't for those flat Earth angle measurements. You only believe you're on a globe because we measure Earth flat.
Yeah, I know. I get that a lot. People say I sound 32. I'm a black square.
You're a black what?
Black square, that is me that you're looking at. I'm a black square.
You're going to learn to do.
Mechanical engineering.
Ah, fair enough. I mean, that's definitely a worthy endeavour. It's not like you're doing some stupid social studies course.
So what sort of stuff do you do in it? Explain.
So what I do on here is inform people like yourself of the religion they have that they weren't aware of.
And what would be an example of a religion?
Well, no, your religion. So you will be, in terms of your education status, fully indoctrinated into a particular one world religion. They just didn't tell you it was a religion when they taught it you in school. Everybody, all of the people you know are also part of this religion, and they're also not aware of it either.
Wait, what religion is it, Barney Johns?
Glad you asked. Heliocentrism.
What is that?
Okay, so in your quote-unquote science class, you will have been taught that you're on a ball moving around the sun. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a religion. Came from the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, it's just like centered around the sun, basically.
Yeah, helios, sun, center, sun at center, heliocentric. So that model is a model that's been created mathematically to better predict when the stars will be at certain positions in the sky, to better predict when Easter will come along. So that the church can tell the people after this next full moon you'll have Easter. But if their models for predicting where the stars will be aren't accurate, they might get it wrong. So over time, you hone a model to the point where you've got refinements given to you by Jesuit priests within the Catholic Church that becomes your one world religion in the Western world. So in school, they'll have taught you that you are on that mathematical ball flying around the sun.
They teach you that you're on a mathematical ball, but you also learn that in physics or astrophysics. And that's sort of where the whole idea is based off. Am I right?
Well, yeah, that's part of the con. So physics is science. So physics is the study of the physical and natural world, aka natural science. Well, what physics deals with is cause and effect relationships. That's the study of natural phenomena. Well, the idea of us floating around on a ball in a sky vacuum is a mathematical idea derived from elevation angle measurements of the stars. That's not physics. There's no phenomena being studied. There's nothing to do with the physical and natural world. It's a model describing angular relationships for the stars.
But like, if you didn't have astrophysics and mathematicians linking together, and astrophysicists saying that, oh, these are stars, these are planets, having their own sort of celestial ideas based off things, then you could then say that if you don't believe in science, then you're not what was it? Helio something?
Heliocentrist. Well, like I say,
Heliocentric.
it's not science. So science starts with something happening, like a phenomena, but that's not what they're describing when they measure angles, elevation angles to the stars. That's measurements, maths. And then creating abstract models with those measurements and maths. That's not physics. That's just maths. But they tell you it's physics because they want you to believe that what they're telling you about this religion exists within the physics of our world, the natural world. It doesn't. It's just a mathematical model created by the church.
So are there any like specific mathematicians which have like looked into celestial movements?
Yeah, so the models created originally, the heliocentric sun at center models created by Copernicus and then later refined by Kepler to give us elliptical orbits and such like, all of which is derivations of elevation angle measurements off a horizontal plane of reference noted in books like the Ephemeris, and then utilized by people like Copernicus and Kepler at the behest of the church to better predict when those stars will be in certain positions in the sky. That's where you get the idea of being on a ball moving around the sun. It's a mathematical derivation of angle measurements, elevation angle measurements off a horizontal plane of reference. Make sense?
Oh yeah. Oh, that does make sense.
So, based on what I told you up until 2 minutes ago, did you believe that men were falling around said ball in a sky vacuum they call outer space?
No, I just thought there was a planet which is big enough and has a great enough mass so that it pulls things towards the center, and then we sit on the outer crust of it,
Right.
doing what we.
So you're under the apprehension that we've got a force called gravity, invented
Yeah.
by a man called Newton, where mass
Oh,
is attracted to the ball Earth created by the church, right?
yeah.
So do you know what gas is?
Yeah.
You understand that in that idea of Newtonian physics, that gas would also have mass as they describe
Yeah,
it.
that's what Jupiter is, a gas giant.
Okay. So what does gas do? Does it go down?
Well, actually, gas is it does actually everything pulls towards something with a center of mass.
So-
Gas would go to wherever the center of mass is. It's just a really light thing.
So you're saying yes, gas goes down.
It doesn't go down; it goes towards the center of mass.
That would be
It
down.
depends where
to
you're
you.
on the Earth.
But on a ball, that would be down, wouldn't it?
The thing is, that's like saying which way is down in space.
What does gas do? Does it go down, or does it expand in all directions in whatever vector it's traveling? Which one is it? Down or all directions?
It's all directions, but
So not
if
down.
it's
then.
if it's a large enough amount of gas, then it will go in the direction of
No.
center of mass.
Well, no.
That's why clouds.
No.
say-
Well, clouds aren't gas, but that's a phase change. But gas itself is unbonded, right? It's not how much of it. It's not attached to any other gas particles. It's just in that world of Newton, just a mass that's not going towards the mass of Earth. It goes in whatever direction it's traveling until it collides with something, right?
Okay.
Well, according to that religious worldview of a ball in a sky vacuum, the sky's a vacuum, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you think would
Well,
happen
there's
to
air in the sky.
what do you think would happen to the high pressure gas we're breathing if the sky really was a vacuum, as saith the church?
No, but that makes sense though, because there's nitrogen and oxygen. They're the main components of Earth's atmosphere, and
At Mo
over time, when Earth gets bigger, through just like generally like asteroid collisions or just matter being pulled in towards the ground, just naturally growing, like the way that planets usually do.
yeah, but does gas do that?
No, but it would push the gas outwards
So the gas would go outwards into the sky vacuum then?
up to a limit. Yeah.
Not up to a limit. It's a law of nature. It's called entropy. It's described with the second law of thermodynamics. It's gas dispersion. Gas fills space. It's a law of nature. So if the sky was a vacuum, the gas you're breathing would fill the space. We'd all be dead.
So you're saying that there's loads of gas in space?
No, I'm saying there is no outer space. There's no sky vacuum with men floating around balls that have come from the church's maths. There's no trips to the moon. There's no sky vacuum. It's all fake. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas you're breathing would fill the space. It would have never developed. The first gas particle would have come out of the ground, travelled into a 10 to the minus 17 Torr vacuum, and never returned. We'd have never developed gas pressure if the sky was a vacuum.
So the rocket landings are fake?
Yes. I mean, obviously, you've got to come up with some magic trick stories to put on your TV screen if they're going to tell you that that religion of being in a ball in a sky vacuum, as per the Roman Catholic Church and their maths, you've got to convince people that's actually real. So you provide them with stories of men going to Narnia, outer space, into a sky vacuum, to take pictures of a blue marble with clouds on it, not dispersing into the black area of space. It's all lies.
That means that essentially you can go into outer space without any space gear and you'll be fine.
There is no outer space. If there was, the gas we're breathing would fill it.
So you'd be able to go into the black area that is not Earth and not and still survive.
There is no outer space. The area they're claiming to go to isn't real. The area that mathematically a ball Earth in a sky vacuum sits in the heliocentric maths that the church gave you to believe in as a religion. So that's the area they're claiming to be in, an area that only exists in the church's maths. You understand?
But then they use stuff like mass spectrometers and stuff like that to detect gases and things on and near other planets in a nebula.
Do
So
they?
you're saying, sorry?
Do they? You're saying spectroscopy, looking through the existing
Using
gas
light.
through the sky vacuum, they say it is, proves that there's gas giants in sky vacuums?
Well, it proves that there's nebula, and based
These are
off the
lights.
whole ideology that nebula can compact to form a ball.
No, that's gravitational accretion from Newton. But yeah, there's lights in the sky that you can look at with telescopes. But the story that goes along with that light, or those lights, nebula, is their story about gravity and sky vacuums, isn't it? That's part of the religion also. The religion you didn't know you were in till 5 minutes ago.
The that video online where the guy did a Red Bull jump from space, well, in the stratosphere, and then he landed on Earth.
Stratus what now?
The stratosphere.
Why would gases be in a sphere shape?
No, sorry, he was. It's like the bit that separates Earth's atmosphere and space,
Does
or
it?
the thing that
No.
not space or outer area.
What you'd need to separate gases from a vacuum is a container. There's no stratosphere. That's a suggestion that gases take sphere shapes. They don't. They fill their containment. That's what gases do. But they've led you to believe that gases arbitrarily take sphere shapes, like atmosphere, stratosphere. Gases don't do that. They fill the containment. They don't take a shape. They're not sphere shaped. Show me a sphere shaped fart. You can't. They just disperse. That's what gases do.
I feel that it's because the center of mass pulls. Because molecules have a mass. It may be really small, but they have a mass.
We've got puddles of gas then, because the mass of the gas goes down, doesn't it? Other than
They're just really light.
It doesn't do that. Gas expands in all directions, though. It doesn't go down. They've told you there's a force of down to keep you on that ball that the church created. That's why you think there's a force of down, but that's because that's what they taught you in high school. In universities, they teach physics students about Einstein's bent fourth dimensional space-time that's called gravity. But as a high schooler, you're taught that there's a force of gravity so that you believe you're stuck to the ball with it. But if I quote Brian Cox, there isn't really a force of gravity at all, because there isn't. It's a bent fourth dimensional space-time. Einstein superseded the idea they teach you in high school about 109 years ago, when he replaced the idea of mass attracting mass with gravity as a bent fourth dimensional space-time. Again, to put a bit of distance between the idea that you're stuck to a ball and the idea that you've got a force to do it with when there isn't one. If there was, there'd be puddles of gas and gas would be going down, but it isn't. It expands in all directions.
So then how do rain clouds work? Aren't they just gas clusters, and then they combine to form water droplets, and they go down?
Yeah.
And then that cycle repeats.
Yeah, it's a cycle. Water cycle.
So you could say gas goes down.
No, that's rain that comes down.
Rain's
not gas.
Rain is H2O. And
so water comes down.
H2O.
So the gas
H2O is hydrogen and oxygen.
That's gas, is it?
You know, you could say that gas... Wait, vapor is a type of gas, right?
And rain's vapor, is it?
Rain's condensed vapor.
It's not gas then.
Well, I just asked you if
so the rain comes down, and the gas goes which way again? Does it go down with gravity to form those clouds? Is it going down, the gas? The rain comes down, but the gas goes...
It clusters.
Goes which way are the clouds? Are they down?
Depends if you're above them.
Are the clouds down? Or are they, let's hear it, going down with gravity, right? The gas is going down with gravity to form the clouds, is it? No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Are the clouds down?
how are
So
clouds
just
formed?
before we move on, are the clouds down or are the gases going which way again? Are the gases that form the clouds going down with gravity or not?
Yeah.
No, they're not. The gases is going up from the ground level. Puddles on the ground turn into gas, which goes which way? There's just no gravity.
So then, how do they condense to form clouds?
Yeah, but we just need to square this away. You're still under
There's no gravity there.
Yeah, there's no gravity. It's just a lie.
How are we on the Earth then?
Hold on a second. Just so we're clear, are you still under the misapprehension that your religious belief of being on a ball is true?
I'm Hindu. I don't believe in science.
Right, but you were taught that you were on a ball, right?
Wait, is that so? You basically are you a flat earther?
You can call me that if you like. I know how Earth's measured to give you the ball that you believed in until about maybe 5 minutes ago. I'm just not clear if you still think you're on a ball. I don't know.
When you go to Iceland, some years I believe like the sun does not go down.
Yeah, so
It never go completely dark like it would in like the UK, for example.
okay. And
Right? But it would never go dark there, meaning that the sun's going in a circle. But then that means that if places on Earth get dark, they'd only see it in a line. So then how would flat Earth logic explain that?
there is no logic to it. You've just explained it. So the sun's over you when it's light and it's not over you when it's dark. And if you're in a position where the sun's over you all the time, it's over you all the time. There's no explanation needed. You've just explained what we can actually observe to be the case. That is the case. You're right. But so what? How does that prove anything?
Doesn't that disprove flat Earth logic?
Well, you tell me. How does that disprove flat Earth logic? The description of the sun above the horizon would be described with its angle above the horizon, wouldn't it? Like so many degrees above the horizon all day.
Yeah.
Well, what are degrees?
Yeah.
They're elevation angle measurements with respect to a flat plane. So you're describing how high the sun is with respect to a flat plane all day long. The mathematical description of the sun being above the horizon is how many degrees above the horizon the sun remains, but that's a measurement off a plane, isn't it? It's an angle. Sun. As you watch it go around.
You're measuring it from a tangent of where you're at.
From a tangent?
It's from the tangent of where you're at.
What's a tangent?
Wait, do you not know what a tangent is?
I know what a tangent is.
It's a line that's perpendicular to the line connecting that point and the center of the circle.
You're suggesting that the tangent is the plane that we measure with a dangling dingleberry Earth below that plane, correct? Well, we're not measuring...
Yeah, but it's the plane you're using for a measurement. You're not saying that the area of the surface that you're on is flat.
So you just said we're using a plane for the measurement? Do you want to say that again?
It's a see-through plane. That's why you can see the sun when it hits 0 degrees. But if it's see-through, that means that it can't be Earth because you can see through it.
Is it surface level? Is it imaginary? Or is it surface level? We're measuring the angle with respect to surface level. So is surface level imaginary then?
I wouldn't say it's surface level. It's just how far you can see.
When you're measuring an angle to the sun, you're measuring between surface level and an imaginary line between you and the sun. That's what an elevation angle is.
On a sphere, and then shot a gun in one direction horizontally, it would fall the same. So you're saying that it would fall the same distance?
No, I'm saying I'm saying when you measure an angle to the sun, it's an angle with respect to surface level. That's how you measure Earth, as a plane of reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you already know we measure Earth as a plane of reference. But that's Earth being measured as a plane. But you've, in your mind, justified it by saying it's a tangent to a ball that's not being measured. Why? It's a plane that you're measuring for an angle. Not a dangling dingleberry Earth that you're not measuring beneath the plane of a tangent. Why would it be a tangent?
Because you're using the tangent as a point, a measurement point.
What, like
you're not using that as where the Earth is.
Yeah, as a horizontal plane of reference.
Where you are, like if you're imagining.
Yeah, as a horizontal.
Yeah, it's a plane of reference. That is not Earth.
Yeah, so we're measuring the plane of reference that is Earth then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're measuring Earth as a plane.
We're not measuring Earth as a plane.
Oh, are we not? So we're not measuring angles with respect to the plane.
You're making a plane
No, we're not making it. We're measuring it for an angle. Surface level is what gives you the angle to the sun or the stars. It's called an elevation angle measurement. You're measuring with respect to surface level. The problem is that, no offense, don't get annoyed. For you, this leaves you in cognitive dissonance. It can't be the surface level. It can't be you've told me it's imaginary. It isn't. It's surface level as we measure it. It's flat. But you're told that it's okay to measure it flat because it's a ball dangling below a plane that we're measuring. And when you say it's a horizontal plane of reference, you say that doesn't mean it's the Earth. It is the Earth. It's surface level. You're measuring it for an angle. It's flat. It's not a globe. That doesn't mean it's not Earth. It means the Earth's not a globe, which it isn't. It's all flat. That's how you measure it. Like, plane of reference.
How are planets formed?
Planets are just what you believe in their motion are heliocentric balls of gas. So you think that planets are balls of gas not expanding into vacuums. They're not violations of the second law of thermodynamics. Like you said earlier, Jupiter's a gas giant. Gas fills space. You don't have circular, non-contained gases not dispersing into vacuums. So me explaining what planets are because your religion has told you they're balls of gas in sky vacuums. But that's not necessary. The planets and stars are used for navigation, though. Again, when we measure angles to them off a plane of reference for an angle, an elevation angle. That's how Earth is mapped, measured, and navigated. Flat.
If you look at the way that planets, like, they grow from nebula and then like all the way to neutron stars, for example, or even black holes, it's like that derives from the fact that they have a center of mass pulling in. So how could it be a flat Earth?
Non sequitur. Gravity being mass attracting mass, number one, was superseded by Einstein 109 years ago. It's now bent space-time. It's a bent geodesic in space-time that you should be ascribing this phenomena to. But the phenomena you're ascribing, you've never observed. They tell you that phenomena occurs over time, but they'll show you stills. They won't show you the phenomena. You don't see those things happening.
You can get live views of the ISS space station.
Yeah.
You can get live feed of it as it goes around.
So you're telling me that the guys in the second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum, where the gas you'd breathe would be filling if it was real, there's people in Narnia with cameras filming the sky vacuum next to high pressure gas not filling it. That's what you're telling me, right? What you're engaging in is called zealotry. You're telling me that your religion's real because you believe it still, even though I've told you it's a religion. There aren't men in sky vacuums filming.
But what I don't get is
just chill. Just chill. There's no men looking back at a blue marble with gas not dispersing into the black area. That's a violation of natural law. But because you've seen it on the telly, you think that's real. It's not.
So you're saying that SpaceX rockets aren't real?
I mean, maybe the rockets are real, but the place they're claiming to put them isn't real. So likewise, when they say the ISS are filming high-pressure gas on a blue marble, not expanding into a black area that's a high vacuum, that are claimed to be going up from Bezos or SpaceX, they're claimed to go to a sky vacuum, but there isn't one. Gas-filled space. We'd all be dead if there was.
Well, then why would SpaceX spend many, many millions of dollars working on spacesuits?
Ask them. Your appeal to their motivation's kind of irrelevant. I don't know what motivates men. Them saying they're going there is the bit that I can disprove with the law of nature. Why they do it, you'd have to ask them. But why would it matter? They're lying. There's no space, there's no sky vacuum.
Well, that's purely speculation. Until you actually go into that void, then that's only when you'll know whether you're saying is right or not.
No, gas would be going into it. It's a law of nature. Like the clouds, when you thought you were looking back from the ISS, you've got the blue marble and there's clouds on it, right? Next to a black area that's a high vacuum. Well, the clouds and all the gas would just go into that area instantly. It's a law of nature. It's not speculation unless I've gone to an area the men on telly say they go to. They're just bolstering your religion that they've told you to believe in by giving you images to believe in. You can't go to the sky vacuum because there isn't one. It's a law of nature violation. Gas fills space. If there was a space to fill, the gas you're breathing would be filling it. It'd never have come to fruition. We'd never have gas pressure because the first particle would come out the ground, like the puddle turning into steam. The first bit of gas would disperse into the vacuum, never to return.
So you're saying that there's no point in Elon Musk doing all the SpaceX launches?
I'm saying that the place they're claiming to send the rockets to, outer space, a sky vacuum, isn't real, because if it was, we'd all be dead. And the idea that they tell you in your religion to overcome that problem is gravity. All things tending towards the centre of mass until high school, alternatively, the bending geodesics in space-time invented by Einstein superseding Newton 109 years ago, holding you to the ball through a geodesic in space-time that holds gas to the ball in a sky vacuum? No, it doesn't. Geodesics bent in space-time don't hold gas, and gas doesn't go down. Gas is held in containment and expands to fill the containment. So if the sky was a vacuum, the gas we're breathing would fill the space. Ergo, there is no space for rockets. They say it's a vacuum. We'd all be dead. So they're just lying. I can prove that. Their motivation I can't prove. I don't know why Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos is going to claim that they're going to a place that isn't real. I just know the place isn't real. It isn't.
Like, if you visit like a large body of water, for example, that water isn't flat; it moves.
And
having a flat Earth wouldn't dictate it, because if
non sequitur.
Spherical, then the water surface would be the same distance from the center of the Earth, as it follows like the Earth's curvature.
There is no curvature.
The
idea of curvature.
A flat Earth wouldn't do that.
Okay, you're offering non sequiturs to try and defend your religion, which is fine. It's the natural reaction. But you're saying because we've got movement in water, it can't be flat? Sea level, it's used to describe elevations of things like aeroplanes. Yes. Well, when you describe an altitude of an aeroplane, it's described from sea level. That's level, flat. So the altimeter inside the plane can reference how high or low it is with respect to a flat plane of reference, sea level. Your argument is non sequitur because you're suggesting that because water moves, Earth can't be flat. Completely non sequitur. So, useless.
What?
You offered a non sequitur saying because water moves, Earth can't be flat. I'm saying sea level's reference for heights above it for aircraft. That's a horizontal plane of reference for the altitude of an aeroplane. They're referencing sea level.
You've done a lot of research in this, haven't you?
This is what I do for a living. In this case, telling people who didn't know they had a religion that they've got a religion that they're on a ball flying through a sky vacuum. Come from the church in violation of natural law to explain when the stars are going to be telling you when Easter is. Now, hundreds of years later, an actual reified ball that you think you're standing on and are explaining to me why you're held to it with a force that doesn't exist. Because they told you in high school and show you feeds from the ISS of gas not filling space. High pressure gas and clouds next to black areas that are vacuums? No. But that was your religion until 10 minutes ago.
Then hang on. Why is it that if you had say you had like a Titanic cruise liner, you're at one point on the water, say in the Pacific Ocean, and then it was sailing away from you?
Yep.
And you would see it slowly start to decrease in size. Doesn't that prove that it's curved Earth, not flat? Otherwise, you would consistently be able to see the ship.
So, you ever see Father Ted?
No.
Let me give you an example. Pretend for a moment that you're on a farm and you're looking out a window at a cow. You with me?
Yeah.
Now pretend that I'm sat next to you, also looking out the window at that cow in the distance. With me?
Yeah.
Then off the table, I pick up a toy cow and I say to you the following words. This cow is small. That cow is far away.
Small, far away.
Is that because of Earth curve?
Yeah.
So the cow being far away and smaller is because it's behind Earth curve, is it?
Yeah.
So hashtag shit shrinks doesn't apply to this very large cow that's quite far away. Reduced in angular size. That's because it's Earth curve, right? It's not because it's just got smaller far away.
Yeah, that's a result of Earth curve.
No, that's called perspective. So in your mind, if the Earth was flat, you could see forever.
If Earth was flat, well, I mean, yeah, it just depends on how far you can see.
But that would be perspective, wouldn't it? That would be based on angular limitations, not based on what you suggested was the limitation, Earth curve. No, Earth curve's
Yeah,
not the reason things get smaller. That's called perspective.
if you're on a like flat surface and
That's
then
not an
something
if.
moves further away,
It's not an if. That's how it's measured.
whereas on like a spherical surface, it would decrease in height. It wouldn't fade. Fading is what happens on flat surfaces due to a result of perspective. It's the way that the eye works. Whereas on a round surface, it would decrease in height from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I know your maths for Earth curve, but can I just take you off the ball that you're so desperately clinging to because you're trying to defend it to me? I mean, you can appeal to me for the next 10 minutes trying to convince me I'm on a ball, but I prefer to just get you off it right quick if I can. I'll have to beg your indulgence to do so, though. Can I just get you off it real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. On the globe that you think you're standing on, do you appreciate that on that ball there are lines of latitude wrapped around it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Where do you think those lines come from?
Someone's drawn them on a map.
Yeah, but how do you think they were measured?
Maths.
No, measured, not maths. How were they measured in the first place? What gives you those lines around the globe Earth, do you think?
Cartographers.
I'll just tell you. Okay, are you aware of a star called Polaris, the North Star?
Yeah.
If I stand with Polaris above me, that would be Polaris at my zenith. If I move away from it and measure the elevation angle, that's a flat Earth angle measurement to Polaris. And as you move away from it, it recedes from 90 at your zenith by 1 degree for every 60 nautical miles. You get further away, it gets closer to the horizon. That's latitude, right?
Yeah.
So it's a flat Earth elevation angle to Polaris that gives us a flat series of circles on a flat plane. That gets wrapped around your ball. That's the latitude system. That's why all the maps are flat, because that's how it works. It's an angle off a flat Earth. But your ball utilizes those measurements to turn a flat circle into a sphere. That's how the church mathematically creates the ball from flat Earth angle measurements. But that church religion, I get you're still in the mindset, I'm on a ball. You're not. That's a religious belief. That's what I'm here to tell you. Defend it again if you want to. I mean, obviously it's going to be hard to cope with that what you've been brought up and raised in. This religion isn't one. It's not real. It's just exactly that, a religion. It's a lot to cope with.
How would knowing the Earth is flat help anyone in life?
Helps you navigate, helps you expand the territories into the new worlds. If it wasn't for us being able to measure the Earth flat with elevation angles, we wouldn't have developed the latitude and longitude system. We'd have never found the new worlds out towards the horizon and found our way home with those flat Earth elevation angles. The expansion of the new worlds and the colonization of the new worlds only happened because we measure the stars with flat Earth angles. The globe you believe you're on wouldn't exist if it wasn't for those flat Earth angle measurements. You only believe you're on a globe because we measure Earth flat. That's why it matters. You wouldn't have that religion of a ball if it wasn't for those measurements of a flat Earth.
But if I didn't even know that there was a religion of a ball in the first place, would it matter?
Did it matter till 20 minutes ago?
Not really.
Right. Now, you know that what you were taught in school was an intentional religious belief that came from the church and took the measurements of the plane you live on and turned them into a religious belief about moving around the sun. You were told it was physics, That's an outright lie. You were told there was men in a sky vacuum taking pictures of it. That's an outright lie too. Just so you know. Does it matter to you? Maybe not. Maybe you're happy with that. Maybe you'll leave this conversation saying, nah, I'm still on that Roman Catholic idea, mathematically so, of being on a ball in a sky vacuum. You might still believe it after this conversation ends. Or you might realise you've been brought up in a religion you were unaware of, and then consider other things that you might not have considered up until that point. Like what science is, for example.
Why haven't you considered about trying to become an astronaut? Because then you could see for yourself.
What, in the sky vacuum that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. I know that it's a lie. It's one of the few people I can brand as liars. The astronauts. They aren't in a sky vacuum. Any of them that say they've been to space or the moon, I know are liars. Because there is no violation of natural law sky vacuum. If the sky was a vacuum, we wouldn't be breathing.
You need to do that when you're an astronaut. So can you like repurpose yourself to that way and then try and like add proof to show that, like find proof to show that they're
I
faking
already
it?
know.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's speculation. You're just saying
It's
what
not,
you believe.
It's not. It's a law of nature. Gas fills space. That's
Factual,
always the
and
case.
I don't know if it's factual.
You can deny that gas fills space to keep hold
Yeah,
of
but
your
it's
sky
like,
to keep hold of your sky vacuum belief, but it does. Gas fills space. It's a law of nature. Entropy.
but it's like me saying that Red Bull gives you wings. But the thing is that until I try it, I won't know.
You're comparing a Red Bull marketing campaign that's a complete deceit with a law of nature. No, the law of nature that describes gas filling space always or hot going to cold always, that's a law of nature. Red Bull stating that they give you wings is like Einstein saying there's a bent fourth dimensional space-time. It's just someone saying something. You know, there is no fourth dimensional space-time geodesic to give you the uneven distribution saying there's a bent fourth dimensional space-time. It's just someone saying something. You know, there is no fourth dimensional space-time geodesic to give you the uneven distribution of mass to cause the warping in that space-time. It's just Einsteinian maths. And Red Bull doesn't give you wings. No one sprouts wings. But gas always, without exception, fills space. It's a law of nature. So if the sky was a vacuum, gas would fill it. It's a law of nature.
Have you had any Red Bull?
Yeah.
Now, say for example you didn't, you wouldn't know if it gave you wings, would you?
Okay. Yeah, but I would still know that the sky's not a vacuum because the gas we're breathing would fill it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Red Bull.
I'm not. I know it must be painful because
Not
you don't want to
okay.
talk about how the sky isn't a vacuum. You'd rather talk about whether or not Red Bull gives you wings. But the sky is not a vacuum. You
No,
were
I'm
in a
trying-
religion that believed men were floating around up there.
I'm trying to like show you my way of thinking, but it's seeming quite hard. But
Do you mean that? Do you believe still there's spacemen?
yeah,
So space gives them wings, does it? They can fly.
space. No, this is what I'm saying though, because I mean, you get flat earthers. Now they're sitting there saying Earth is flat. Now they can think what they want, that's all right. But the thing is
Measured
that they
that way.
have no proof.
It's measured that way. I've just given it you. You seem to have ignored what I've told you. Earth's measured flat for you to believe in a ball.
I feel that your
Do you remember
goal
that-
should be getting physical proof of flat Earth,
What, like
because I feel
latitude
that would
measurements?
push you.
Yeah, well, do you want physical proof? Latitude measurements. You need them to believe you're on a ball. They're wrapped around your ball. Do you remember me going through the angle measurements to Polaris? Those are physical measurements of a plane of reference
Then
that we measure.
I
And
could
you-
say that
it's-
humans have made those
it's
measurements.
okay,
haven't they?
dude. It's okay. It's troubling for you. You've asked me for flat Earth measurements, and I'm giving them you. I know they're troubling, yeah, but that's kind of fun for me to watch your reaction as you chant through the top
No,
of
I
me
asked you
telling
for
you.
proof of flat Earth.
I'm giving it you. Elevation angles to Polaris give you latitude.
No proof.
You need those to wrap
Mm.
second attempt.
Natural.
Is this you telling me about your religion I must believe in? I'll try a third time.
I meant natural proof.
Yeah, like an
No, I meant
angle
natural
measurement,
proof.
like
Natural proof.
an angle measurement to a star that we create maps
No,
with.
no, no.
I don't know why you're chanting through
No,
me
that's-
and
that's not what
saying
I'm
no.
saying.
It's kind of a conversation that's difficult with you talking through me, telling you for the fourth time that elevation angle measurements do exist. They're measured off a plane of reference. You need them for your globe. It's latitude. They're wrapped around your globe, remember? We measure them off of
You're telling me stuff that humans have made.
fourth time I'm attempting to tell you it. Fourth time. Bye-bye. You'd rather chat
What?
through me.
Excuse me?
Stop.
Go on,
Hello?
Keely.
Yeah, you need to stop before you go to the next person.
I can't. He clicked on next.
Well, first of all, you need to start emphasizing the second law of thermodynamics. Number one, not just the law of nature and entropy. It's got to be the second law of thermodynamics.
said
Bring it
that.
on home.
I need a drink.
Number
I got-
How are you?
I'll be back in a sec. I need a drink. Talk to this dude.
We don't want to talk to this dude. We want to belittle you.
Excuse me.
What's up, dude? What's up,
What's
guy?
that? What's happening?
What's happening? How old are you?
I'm 15.
Yeah, I don't
Next.
think Nathan, the gentleman that was here, would don't take it as a disrespect, but he doesn't want people, anyone under 18, talking with us.
Yeah, I'm going. Don't worry. Have
Okay.
a good day.
Have a good day.